Hey YouTube, Texas Blades here. Today we're going to be reviewing the Smith Wesson HRT Black Claw Neck Knife, model number SWH-RT2. You can pick these knives up. We sell them for, we sell them for about $6. You can pick them up for about $4 or $5 online, eBay, Amazon, different places like that. Get a little bit into the specifics of the knife, the specifications. That is, it's, as I said, it's a black claw neck knife, serrated blade. It's 2 1/8 inch on the blade. It's 440 stainless. Overall length on this knife is 5 5/8. I don't have much on the sheath. I do know it's the same material as the handle, and it's a black molded Zytel sheath with badge holder and removable clip. And you can see this right here is the belt clip. It can be reversed and go on either or side. It's also got this little button on it to hold it in there, and you can see it does a decent job. You have to actually put a little bit of force on it to get it to come out, so it holds it nicely for what it is. Overall weight is right around 3 ounces. I think it's less than 3 ounces. I want to say it's almost 2 ounces, so it's really lightweight knife. Now I'm going to get into what I think about the knife itself, and again, this is just a first impressions on this knife because unlike the other Smith & Wesson knife I reviewed, I haven't used this one much. Well, this is the first time I've actually pulled one out of inventory, and it was just to do this review. So now that it's used, I can actually take it out and use it a little bit and do another update on it and see what it actually does. You know, see if it actually works for what it's for. I think the overall concept of the knife, the overall concept is cool and somewhat functional as a cutting tool. However, the maker of this knife, and let me be clear about this, Smith & Wesson does not make these knives. You know, different companies make the knives, and then Smith & Wesson just whores their name out. So they can put Smith & Wesson on the blade. They pay Smith & Wesson so much per blade or whatever, you know, however that works. So don't think it's going to be the same quality as that Smith & Wesson or Smith & Wesson open assist $30 knife you go buy, $40 knife. It's not going to be the same quality. It's probably not even the same maker. So I'm just throwing that out there because I have seen these knives with Buck written on them. So, you know, different companies whore their names out, and that, you know, that's a way to make extra income for that company. So but the maker on this one, they just really screwed the pooch on it. It came with a huge gouge. I don't know if it's going to pick that up or not. Right there on the blade, right there. It's just a really big gouge in the blade. And then if you look between all the serrations, bunch of extra material. There's extra material hanging off the tip here. I mean, it's just a ridiculous amount of extra material on there. Maybe you can catch it better from this side. I don't know if it's going to pick that up or not, but just a lot of extra material on this knife that shouldn't be there. You know, they expect us to sell these knives, but they send them to us looking like this, and yeah, pull that out of a box and show a customer, they're probably not going to buy that knife. So I can say that quality control for this knife company really sucks. You know, this is not what I would consider a finished knife. Also, the finishing on the knife, if you can see that right there, is starting to wear off just from going in and out of this sheath a couple of times. You know, it's probably been 6-7 times, and it's already starting to wear off the finish up top. And this knife is not really tight in here. You can see there's movement both ways, so it's not like it's rubbing all the way down the sheath. There's probably just one spot on this sheath that it's actually rubbing on there. So it's not like it's completely tight in there like a Kydex, and when you pull it out, it's just, you know, it'll fall out without that button, you know, dang near. So it's not like there's any reason for the finish to already be scratching off like that. This knife's never been used. It's a new knife, so it's just been pulled in and out of this sheath a couple times. So I don't see any reason for that to be happening so soon. Like I said, the sheath isn't really that tight in there. I think if this knife was manufactured by a better company, maybe they could do something better with it. But I think it needs a lot of work as is, out of the box. We definitely, whenever we sell one, we pull it out and we clean it up before we ever put it out. And I've never seen a gouge like that on any of them. So this knife should have been pulled out by quality control. They should have got to this knife and seen that gouge and seen all the extra material. And there is extra material on all of them for some reason. They don't clean their knives after they're done, you know, cutting the serrations in them. It's ridiculous how much extra material you'll find on here. I didn't find anything like that on this knife, you know, in any of the places. And you can look at the knives side by side. I don't know if you're going to be able to tell, but this knife is much thicker than this knife. And I still recommend this knife to anybody that's looking for a recommendation when they step in and they're looking for a knife for really cheap, you know, and they're looking for a good $5, $6 pocket knife. This is the knife I'll point them towards, never this one, you know. And I guess part of that's because I don't like serrated blades as well. That's just a personal preference. I don't like serrated blades. I do like the jimping on this blade better. It's closer together than on this one, which gives you a little bit more grip. And with your finger hole there, it gives you good control of the blade. If you were cutting on something, it would give you good control of the blade. So I do like that. The handles are simply glued on both knives. And I can say that these knives right here I've used quite a bit, and you know, I beat on them a little bit, not too bad, but I've never had a handle fall off on me, and I own about 5 of these that I actually have on my packs and around the house. So I do use this knife quite often. I plan on doing the same with this one, at least this one. Sorry about that. I more than likely won't go get another one out of inventory just because I don't like the blade itself. But I am going to put this one through some tests, and I'm going to definitely do an update on it and see how well it works. Again, the sheath, I don't really like plastic sheaths, but for what it is, for the price, I think it's decent. I do a system 1 out of 10 on knives. I think this one got like a 6 or 7. It got a really good rating on me, or rating from me, and just on design, I'm going to give this one a 3, but it should, you know, in all actuality, it should be closer to a 2, maybe a 1, just on presentation from the factory. You know, it's ridiculous. Their quality control is just ridiculous over there, so they really need to step up their game a little bit and start looking at their knives before they sell them. And if it's too hard to open like that for you, you can press through on this and still do it one-handed. You could press that button that way, but I found it, if you just do that, it'll pop out. So cool little blade, cool concept, bad overall presentation when I opened it, so they're going to get a 3. Thanks for watching, YouTube.